Hey guys, what's up? It's John81. I'm gonna come to you with a video that I haven't made a video in a while. I actually got a couple of them captured, but I haven't got them edited and stuff like that. So yeah, today I'm gonna actually talk about like the top 10 things for my gaming setup that I need, if you will, like a hierarchy of needs kind of. And right now I'm just gonna list them all. Then I'm gonna tell you why they're in that order and why they're on the list. So the first one is Monster Rancher 2. The second one is an HDTV. Third one is a Shin Megami Tensei title. Fourth one is a Working Designs title. Fifth one is an NES slot. Sixth one is a Genesis. Seven is some more Sega Saturn games. 8 is a DS. 9 is Lufia 2 as the Sinistrals, and 10 is either a 360 or a Wii. Alright, now I'm going to start with Monster Rancher 2. Monster Rancher 2 is actually one of my favorite games, throughout elementary school and middle school. Yeah, I don't have it anymore, and me and my brother really want to play it again. It's a game that, ever since we lost our possession of it, we really wanted to play again, and it's a lot of fun. If you never played it, it's kind of like it's monster breeder, as they call it. Like, you do is you go to the shrine and get a monster from a CD, any CD, and you'd be able to get a monster, and then you go back and raise it. And the great thing about the game is it never ends. And I just need to get that game again. It's gotten pretty hard to find, but not expensive, not like terribly expensive. And then next on the list is an HDTV. Obviously, I'm playing a PS3. I want to get the best out of the visuals as I can. I value Monster Rancher 2 a little bit more over it because, I'd rather have a great game than great visuals, as for me personally. Of course, the HDTV is pretty high up there. Okay, and the next is a Shin Megami Tensei title. I know I preferably want, Devil Summoner 1, DDS 1, or maybe, I don't know. Any title would really be fine, maybe even another pressing of Devil Summoner 2, or, anything really, because, I don't want to open my copy of Devil Summoner 2 that I have right now because, it's just too beautiful to open up, if you know what I mean. But yeah, maybe I'll even go for the Revelation series, is what they were called before, the Shin Megami Tensei series, and they've only released one of the last Bible games on there. It's actually called the Demon Slayer in America, and Persona 1. So yeah, another Shin Megami Tensei title. The next on the list was a Working Designs title, and why I chose Working Designs is it's becoming one of my favorite publishers. As the translation they've been doing is really good, and they always deliver the best they can. They always choose great titles to bring over. Now, preferably Lunar Silver Star Story, seeing as how much I enjoyed Eternal Blue, and maybe even Ark the Lad collection or Growl Lancer. Magic Knight Ray Earth, or Ray Crisis, I think it's called. Maybe I'll even go for one of their non-RPGs, maybe even Vanguard Band's Tactics game and stuff. Now the next on the list was an NES slot. You look at my NES collection. It's not that big, And one of these games I don't even think works. Super Mario Bros. 2, I don't think works. And, ton of awesome NES games, Dragon Warrior, NES Ice Hockey, Blades of Steel, 10-Yard Fight, Jesus Christ, a working copy of Mario Bros. 2, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, just a bunch of games. Now the next, on the list was the Sega Genesis. I'm a big fan of 16-bit gaming, and not having a Sega Genesis really freaking blows. I want to play, some of the classics like Phantasy Stars, 1 through 4, Shining Force 1 and 2, Shining in the Darkness, and all those games, and as well as some of the more obscure arcadey games, like platform games, like what's that called, the Forever Man. I don't remember that game. I remember playing it on an emulator. There's cool games like Crusader Senti, which is kind of like a Zelda clone. That one platform game like Rocket Knight Adventure or something like that. The Cheeky Boys, a lot of fun games that, I've played on the Genesis but not a legit copy. I find out that whenever I have a real copy of something, I appreciate it 20 times more. For example, Star Tropics. On an emulator, I keep on trying to play this game because I heard a little bit about it. I'd always put it down after like the first 10 minutes. And now I've actually played through the entire game. Next is, on the list is some Sega Saturn titles. Saturn was an awesome console and very underrated. It had great games. The console itself, not so much, but the software library, definitely. A ton of domestic and import games. Saturn's very easy to import. Just pop the action replay in and you're ready to go. Use names like Saturn Bomberman and probably get the Japanese version because it's 20 times cheaper. Fighting Vipers, Vampire Savior, Real About Fatal Fury. There's a couple King of Fighters games on there. There was, what was that? I think there's a Samurai Showdown for it, I'm not sure. What's it called? Guardian Heroes. There's just a huge list of games that are, kind of not really talked about as much as, they're getting talked about more now than they usually do, but yeah, it's just a bunch of awesome games. The next one is the DS. Now, everybody on Games has been pissing me off about getting a DS. I'll fucking get one. There's a ton of awesome games for it that I want. A bunch of Atlas games. There's Devil Survivor coming out. A bunch of the Final Fantasy remakes. And so on. I'm not sure if I'll get a DSi or a Lite. It depends on the time, whether I'm trying to raise a bunch of money. I'll probably go with a Lite. Either that or get a DSi and an SP. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do as far as which DS model I'll get. If worst comes to worst, I'll get a brick DS. Or as the fat one, the original model. And then you got Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Now, this is an RPG that a lot of top 10 RPGs of all time lists. If they have Lufia 2 on it, it's #1. And I've played a little bit of on an emulator, and again, as I said, when I play on an emulator, I tend to not appreciate as much as if I was playing a real copy. And I saw a lot of cool puzzles, very simple battle system, and all. It's a game I'd want to really play through all the way. And I think the only way I would ever have the patience to do that is if I own a real copy. Now, last on the list is the 360 or Wii. Now, owning only a PS3, the current generation, kind of blows because, PS3 really gets the least amount of games, even though I think that the games are better in pounds, as in the ratio between good games and bad games is better than, let's say, on the Wii or the 360, but that's because there aren't as many games. In numbers, the Wii and the 360 have more good games. But, for the 360, they got Star Ocean, Infinite Undiscovery, Lost Odyssey, all those RPGs. You got Gears, COD 4, even though it's on PS3, you got Live, a lot of my friends play on Live. Really any online game, is good to play on 360 because, all your friends are probably on there. And, right now, as far as new games coming out, all I can really think of is Mass Effect 2, but, I think that it's come out with a lot of games in the past that make it worthwhile now. And for the Wii, you got the remake of Klonoa, you got the Conduit coming out, Mad World, Arc Luminous 2, Tales of Symphonia 2, the backwards compatibility with GameCube games, both of them just have a ton of games that I want to play that I never would be able to play unless I buy one. And, I'm not talking about just going over a friend's place like, hey, let's play some Wii. Actually sit down and play these games and get the full effect of them, And, of course there's other things that I want, but, These are actually my top 10 list. It's probably going to come in that order. Not going to say there's not things that I'm going to buy in between, you know, because you hop into a GameStop and there's a ton of cheap PS2 games that are really awesome. You know, you can get like Resident Evil 4 brand new for like $10. You know, Tales of Legendia is like $12, which I've always wanted to play. You know, you can just pop into the used section of any GameStop and find awesome games. And I'm not, and you know, if a deal comes up for any other game, you know, I probably won't pass it up. So anyways, guys, this is John Nitty1 out.